Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I wanted to show you something that not many people are talking about, but there's a couple of threads that I keep seeing. You remember a week or so ago, I asked if this was the canary in the coal mine. This guy had tweeted that the strategic Bitcoin reserve is dead in Wyoming, the most Bitcoin-friendly state in America, yet Cynthia Lummis claims her federal bill with 0 co-sponsors will pass. And then there was this right here today. Montana's Bitcoin reserve bill has died in the House. Mississippi bill has died in the committee. So I'm wondering if they have overblown the possibility of a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Listen to this.
Well, $3,000 is a lot for someone to plunk down for one gold coin. So I think the price has an effect on the retail market, whether they're willing to buy it or not. And I think the people that are in the know are just, I've got it now. And I don't want. Yeah.
No, I want to say, sorry to interrupt, David, because I think that makes a lot of sense, right? $3,000, that's a big number. If you're Canadian, it's worse than that. But why couldn't you make that statement for Bitcoin then? Why is 16,000, when Bitcoin was 16,000 or 10,000, even 5,000, 6,000, why didn't price come into play?
I think it does, but to examine a little deeper, when you have a hodl situation, hold on for dear life, that's what's called the float. So like in the stock market, you might have 1 million shares out, but 98% of them are tightly held. So the float, the amount that's available for purchase, is extremely small. And that's the Bitcoin world. So any new buying will take the price substantially higher. So now we're in a position where Bitcoin's roughly $100,000 per Bitcoin. It cost $100,000 to mine a Bitcoin with Marathon Riot and the third biggest miner in the United States. So they're break even. So now you got to get a big buyer to come in so that the insiders can sell off, just like in the stock market. So, hey, let's get the U.S. government involved. They'll pay $100,000 per Bitcoin. So they need a market. So they're trying to create one. So they have liquidity at that extremely high price where no one average can buy a full Bitcoin. No one can write a check for $100,000 that's an average worker out there. And so who has that kind of clout? Well, the government does. They'll just print up some more money and they'll create a sovereign wealth fund with gold and Bitcoin. Well, gold, yeah. Bitcoin, forget about it. But that's the reason. So there's not a lot of transactions going on in the real world of Bitcoin where the whales are able to start selling my 10 Bitcoin, my 100 Bitcoin, my 1,000 Bitcoin, my 10,000 Bitcoin. And there's people like that are billionaires in the Bitcoin world that bought it at a penny or mined it at a penny or 10 cents or whatever. So they need liquidity, and the only way to get liquidity is for somebody to come in. It's like a Ponzi scheme. When you get near the top, you need new buyers to buy in, and you start running out of buyers. So what do?
That's why they need Michael Saylor, the chief salesman that's going around state by state and to the U.S. government.
That's to find new buyers. That's Bitcoin. Who are the new buyers? Oh, let's get the U.S. government involved. And what's interesting about Bitcoin is gold is outside of the realm of the real world. I have a gold coin on my desk, but we'll use a silver one. But that could be a means of final payment. That's it. But you can't take a Bitcoin and that's final payment. You've got to use it, for all practical purposes, get into Bitcoin with US dollars and get out of Bitcoin with US dollars. Yes, you can do it in other currencies, but you get my idea. It's a dollar-based system. It's not independent. Now, I'm not saying, someone could take me to task on the comments and say, well, wait a minute, David, I sold my house for Bitcoin or I sold my car. And that's true. So in that case, you could liquidate your Bitcoin, but that's rare. But in the means of gold, you have the option. I could take the gold and use it as final payment, or I could convert it to a currency of my choice. But that type of transaction really doesn't occur much in the Bitcoin world at all. In almost all cases, the lion's share are certainly changing dollars to Bitcoin, Bitcoin back to dollars. Whereas you could go from dollars to gold and stay in that gold realm. Look.
Interesting stuff. So is this. Charles Hoskinson's predicting crypto laws in 120 days. When the first crypto law passes, it is on like Donkey Kong, folks. I think this will move the market more than just about anything.
I hope Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson is right on this one.
It's going to take 90 to 120 days to get some basic laws passed. It looks like stable coins will be the first that they regulate, and then moving from that, they'll do asset classification. But before the end of this year, I do believe very strongly that we will be on much stronger foundations in the United States and thus globally for running a cryptocurrency business.
Charles, the beard stays on, man. Look, big if true. Crypto laws will work, and they will give the necessary framework to let blockchain companies expand in the biggest economy in the world and for America to become the crypto capital of the world and to bring the crypto markets to new insane heights. Be the last straw for the mind-blowing blow off top. Let's make it happen, Charles. Don't you shave, man. You keep...
Yep. I think that it's going to be a major blow off top. Look at this, how it started, how it's going. This was back during the SEC widening its crypto crackdown. And now it says SEC plan to drop Coinbase suit marks a big shift. What we needed is XRP big shift. Drop that one. And look at this. This is John Reed Stark, who was a big defender of the SEC during the crypto crackdown. But look what he says now. As predicted, like the rest of the SEC's crypto enforcement program, the SEC Coinbase case is dead. The SEC Ripple appeal is obviously next on the chopping block. Uncle. I don't know if that's him calling uncle or what. So what I did is I said, the Ripple case can end at any minute. It's been 4 years. I can't imagine being dumb enough not to hold XRP right now. If you held, if it was for no reason other than the imminence of the case dropping. And so what I did was I went to Grok and I said, what would happen if when the Ripple case was dropped by Jay Clayton, the market immediately reacted to the downside? What if it reacts the same way that it did to the downside to the upside when the case is dropped or is resolved in some way? Applying a 66%, apparently there was a 66% decrease when Jay Clayton, right here it says this represents a decline of 66% from 50 cents to 17 cents in a very short term period. That was when Jay Clayton dropped the lawsuit. If you apply that 66 to a starting price of 2 XRP at 250, which is around where it is now, that would give you $4.15 XRP, which would bust you through the previous all-time high of XRP, which would create even more FOMO. So my bet is that it would go to there and beyond based on that. All right. Now, this is Crypto Insight UK. It says after this range, next top for XRP could be around $5 to $5.50, or it could full send to the $8 to $11 range if we get XRP D breaks 14% market cap. Alternatively, it could overextend towards previous all-time highs versus market and go much higher. Previous all-time highs on dominance around 30%, so double the 14% range. That would be wild. Feels like stars are aligning. And in this one, he says XRP ETH back to level I discussed a few days ago. Could we see a bounce here? I do really feel like XRP could steal the show again soon. However, I also think ETH FUD, with price reacting positively, shows sellers ETH are close to being exhausted. Then we got this. This is an attorney, crypto lawyer that Paul Barron had on, and listen to what he said.
All right, I like it.
But I was just checking my wallet here in value, and I'm like bullish on XRP right now. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm excited too. That's interesting. Now, I also wanted to play you this. This is the, what's his title at Chainlink? Sergey Nazarov, co-founder. He's one of the co-founders of Chainlink. He is right about what he's saying in this clip. Listen to this. This is what's coming, folks. And it's not just for Chainlink.
Real estate assets, gold assets, equity assets, commodity assets to hedge inflation, maybe utility token assets as a representation of an infrastructure and the role that infrastructure plays, but stable real thing. Those stable real things have always been a much larger share of the world's value and portfolios and assets and what people place their money into. So that's really the question, right? The question isn't, are cryptocurrencies better than RWAs? It's just like, do we believe that all the real world things will become tokenized and blockchain based eventually? My answer is yes. Yes. All the real estate, all the gold, all the equities, all of it. Refactoring of invoices, insurance claims, revenue from ad networks, revenue from entertainment, all of it will be tokenized.
All right. In DAI XRP, you can go to DAIXRP.com, or below this video, you can click the join button to join the group through YouTube instead. DAIXRP.com takes you to the Patreon. Either way, it's both the same thing. We do extended videos with no advertisements in there. Today in there, we're going to talk about, was Ripple involved with the in the ByBit bailout? That's one thing we're going to talk about. We're also going to talk about alt season. Many think that they see it coming now. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Tell your friends and family that I need to get a shower. I haven't had a shower yet this morning, and I need one. Thanks for listening.